Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Coyote Picture Club, a show where every month we choose an actor and decide their four best or four defining performances for movies in which we think best encapsulate their career. Today, I'm joined by the truth seeker. He's searching for light in an unjust world. Silas, want to introduce yourself?
Hey guys, Silas, this is here for my second pod now. I'm excited to get back into it with Patrick and the Coyote Pictures Club. Can't wait to see where this conversation leads. Should be a good one.
We're gonna be yelling by the end of it. We're gonna be emailing Congress people because today we're talking about Oliver Stone's JFK. Holy fuck, I forgot to have a beer. Give me one sec.
Gotta get the drink. Gotta get the drink. Well, Patrick gets a beer. I guess I have the whole podcast to myself. I can really discuss anything. Hmm. Gotta go watch Obsession. That's out right now. Uh, as soon as Curry Barker puts out 4 films, I bet we'll be covering some of his stuff. Man, that movie is incredible.
Okay, I'm back. What'd you say to the podcast?
Just shouted out Obsession, man. About it.
I'm seeing it this weekend. I'm seeing it this weekend. I'm excited.
It's great. It's real good.
Well, what did you think of JFK?
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. The first time I tried to watch it, I turned it off. And I think I didn't give it enough time. To be fair, I turned it off after like 5 minutes. It was just the beginning was so
Okay.
dry, and
Okay.
I picked the wrong night. I saw the time stamp of 3 hours and 40 minutes. I'm like, yeah, no, not tonight.
You watched a 4 hour cut?
Is there a different option?
There's a 3 hour cut.
Okay, so I watched the whole thing. Um,
You've seen more of this than you've seen 40 minutes of this movie that I haven't seen.
yeah, we be pulling out these great scenes. You're like, I don't remember watching that.
Your
Uh,
all of your
uh,
favorite scenes are in the 40 minutes I didn't see.
I'm sure we'll talk about it later, but I have a feeling we have the exact same favorite scene. Um, but yeah, I rewatched it. If you got that first watch as a
Okay.
watch, and man, it was great. I feel like Patty asked me for this one because we're both in politics together. I will say American politics is not my strong suit. However, it was great. I was invested the whole time, especially the latter half of the movie. That really
Yeah.
gets you in. That whole courtroom scene seems like it was 10 minutes. I think it was 40 minutes.
Oh, it's like the
Uh,
last hour of the movie.
exactly. Yeah, that was incredible. I feel like we have a theme going with movies with great courtroom scenes going after Son of a Woman. So
We're only doing legal thrillers now.
only legal thrillers. I love it. Like To Kill a Mockingbird's up next. But yeah,
I
it
mean, this movie
was
has a lot in common with To Kill a Mockingbird. A very
yeah,
Atticus Finch-like character in the center.
very, very much so. And yeah, I can't say I'm like the biggest Kevin Costner fan, but he was awesome in this. Uh he played the character exactly how I would want, I guess. Like no complaints. Obviously I have some complaints with the movie, but overall it was a great watch. I feel like it's definitely one of those ones where I have to watch a second or even a third time to fully kind of grasp everything. You really have to pay attention to every bit of dialogue to get the full effect of the film. And there's definitely some times where, uh, I mean, it was 4 hours, right? So I definitely zoned out in some parts. But overall, man, it was great. I haven't really given it my letterbox score quite yet, but
I mean, what are you giving it on Letterboxd? What are you thinking?
in that 3.5 to 4.5 range, so probably a
Okay.
4.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
this is like a fringe just outside my top 10. This might be it's this or Scarface is my favorite we've done on the pod so far.
okay. Yeah. Is this your favorite for Costner then?
This is my favorite Costner. This is why I wanted to do the series because I think this movie is like it's one of the best of that decade. I think it's fascinating. Like I think it's like a key American film. I think it's really locked into something, but I think it says stuff about film itself. I think it says stuff about the culture. I think it says stuff about politics. I think it says stuff about how we interact with all of those things. And it feels like I don't know. It kind of feels like one of the definitive films of the medium to me. In a way where doing Costner was almost an excuse to do this movie. Like I love Dances with Wolves. I love Bull Durham. I'm a huge Costner fan. Like I grew up with a lot of his movies. But this is the one that is just key to me. And the
Mhm.
idea of doing this series gets this movie. I mean, I'll go into it, and I know you have your complaints, but I did think you would like it because, in my opinion, it's the great paranoia epic. It's the great conspiracy movie. And you're a guy who likes his conspiracy theories. I mean, we were watching the MK Ultra doc
That was
last time
great.
we were together. That was a good doc. And I don't know, there you buy into it all. By the time
Mhm.
that courtroom scene comes around, and I mean, I've seen it twice now, and I do find it feels like it whirs around. I feel like sometimes I can't get a grasp of exactly what's going on because it's just like sinking through like layers of paranoia and conspiracy on and who's on whose side and where are they and all that. And I mean, it comes together in a way where you really get the impact of it. But part of it, I enjoy being lost in the labyrinth of the paranoia. Like I do feel like the Costner's character when he's being told by like Donald Sutherland, like there's so much. And you have characters like the Joe Pesci character being like, it's a riddle. What's his exact quote? He says it's a riddle wrapped in a mystery wrapped in an enigma. And it does
Mhm.
sometimes feel like that,
Yeah.
where yeah, I don't feel like I have a full grasp of exactly what's happening. I mean, read this rewatch clued me into a lot more, but it does. I enjoy being in the atmosphere of it, of the paranoia.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Did this you said growing up with Costner, was this film influential in your decision to study politics?
No, I saw this year. This is like the movie
Oh,
of this year. I saw this 3 months ago. It was like the one of the first movies I saw like right after starting the podcast. I put on JFK and I'm like, we need to do Costner.
nice.
So this
Nice.
has been because there's a couple guys who I'm like, Pacino is one of them, Costner's one of them, Faye Dunaway, Warren Beatty, um, Tom Cruise. Those are kind of the key guys where it's like I want to cover them on the podcast. And after seeing JFK, I'm like, I've got to do it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, did you have a relationship with Costner? Like, I don't know. Did you see like McFarland USA? That feels
Yeah,
like what a
so
lot of people say.
that's
Feel the
that's
Dreams?
the thing with Costner. Like, yeah, I've seen actually, believe it or not, I haven't seen Field of Dreams. I'm a big baseball fan. I need to, that's on my list.
Have you seen Bull
But
Durham?
Costner, no, man, that's the
You
thing.
got
I
to
haven't
see
seen.
Bull Durham, bro. You would love Bull Durham.
I will. I will. My thing, I don't know many Costner films. I've seen tons of films with Costner in them, but I haven't like registered them as Costner films. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
haven't seen any of his big five. I the one that I remember the most is my grandma took me to the theater when I was a kid to watch McFarlane, and that was awesome.
yeah.
I
That
didn't
feels
know.
like a bit of a DVD classic.
Yeah, exactly. Like I didn't know what I was getting myself into with that one, and it was just like this like happy movie that was just like. To be fair, I was a kid. I don't know what I would think about it when I was rewatching now, but when first saw, I was like, man, this is one of the best movies I've ever seen. Like it was so well made,
Hmm.
um, and watching this, really my first reaction is I think this is a incredibly underrated movie. I before you
Yes.
suggested it to me, I had never heard of it. I was talking about it all week at work, saying, "Oh, I'm doing this thing on Thursday with my friend. This
Yeah.
is the movie." Not one person knew what the movie was. Even someone who spent their teenage years going down JFK rabbit holes, they've never even heard of the movie. And I thought that
Really.
was, yeah. So I don't know. I don't understand why this movie isn't more well known to like the casual viewer. I guess maybe the length played into that.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's part of the bigger picture and the government is hiding the movie from the people.
Conspiracy theory number one. This is why he's the truth seeker.
Yes. I don't know. I don't want to get killed for saying that, but I feel
I
like
don't
this
think the
movie,
government is listening to the Coyote Picture Club podcast. This is the
yeah,
no man's land. You say whatever you want.
you'd be surprised, man. I'm fairly certain Cameron has CIA connections.
Mm. I mean, thoughts on JFK generally?
Awesome. One thing I'm very glad about it is I went into it without looking at the cast list. All I knew was Costner. Every 5 minutes was like a what? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Of just star-studded cast. That was crazy. John Candy, Kevin Bacon, Joe Pesci, they all just caught me way off guard. And I'm not remembering his name now. You'll know it, but the guy who plays Merle in Walking Dead, he was awesome. He was like the
Oh,
main
Michael
guy.
Rooker.
Yeah, he was awesome,
He was
man.
great. I mean, Tommy Lee Jones kills it. Sissy Spacek kills
Yes.
it.
Yes.
A couple big other one. Gary Oldman as Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean,
I
Donald
love
Sutherland
it.
as X. It's like everybody. It does feel. I mean, Laurie Metcalf.
Mhm.
It does feel like the way I pitch this movie to people is it's Oppenheimer. Like I think Christopher Nolan, the way this is set up and the way it's cutting between black and white in the past and color in the present, is jumping around in time. The third act is all dedicated to a courtroom scene that you build up to. There's a way that it's like cutting around in time, and it's almost disorienting as you watch this kind of progress and things unravel. Stylistically, it's like that, but also that huge cast where everybody's played by someone, and
Mhm.
it does kind of feel like, I don't know, reading a big history tome. When you read like a big biography that's like 800 pages long, and it's like all these names that keep popping up, and it's tough to keep track of sometimes. But I do think having that level of actors really does help signify the importance of different people within this period of history.
100%, yeah. And I feel like Oliver Stone really wanted to get this story across, and
Yeah,
casting all the people was a way to get people to come watch it.
yeah,
And I think they did a great job. I mean, I was the even though like that first part I was saying earlier, I didn't necessarily it didn't like tie me in enough. It was those constant, not even cameos because they're all like main characters, but that
yeah,
constant introduction of a A-list celebrity in most of them the prime of their careers, right? Um,
yeah.
that kept me hooked in until the movie itself hooked me in. And man, it was a great great watch. Yeah,
I mean, with the actors, before we move on, I do think, I mean, Loki, we were talking about this in Professor Delaney's class a year ago. It's that kind of cultural legitimacy.
yeah,
Having, when you're going on a conspiracy theory and you're digging through and you're like, the government's involved and the mafia's involved, and it was all this huge setup. Having these big actors helps add legitimacy to Oliver Stone. Having Kevin Costner, one of the capital A American actor, director, producer, someone who just won an Oscar in the previous year, there
mhm,
being Jim Garrison playing this Atticus Finch like role of looking for the truth and trying to find justice, it adds to that. You got Joe Pesci, he just won an Oscar. So he's Spacey, Tommy Lee Jones, these beloved American actors
mhm.
doing this, it adds a legitimacy to the movie. It makes it seem a little more official.
It does. Yeah. And especially like tons of movies do this where they put the like at the end like the real results of what happened like after the movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of like follow up that added legitimacy. And that kind of ties me when I read your dossier that you sent me
Oh, okay.
prior to this in your notes you said based on a true story. And I wanted your opinion on this. How much of this movie do you think is based in fact versus speculation?
I mean, it's inherently all speculation. I think that's
Yeah.
what's so interesting with the movie is that it's all speculation. And you could say there's a danger to the way it sensationalizes this. And in some ways, it might. The sensationalization of conspiracy theories has been incredibly dangerous to, I don't know, culture, especially America,
Mhm.
within the past 30 years, right? Like, this isn't just a modern day thing, but I think the thing that JFK really taps into is that this is a moment where it feels like culture shatters, where people didn't know whether something happened or not. People did not know if the government was lying to them.
Yeah.
And
And
this
I think
broke their brains. This plus Watergate a decade later shattered the brains of people. This isn't like a left or right political thing. It is there more that we aren't seeing in these institutions? And this is a sensationalized version. It feels like it's a labyrinth. It feels like you're looking into like a hole that just keeps going on forever where you don't see the bottom. But I think
Mhm.
this movie really does capture that cultural split. I mean, I write here, rooted in both countercultural postmodern conspiracy theories of DeLillo and Pynchon, as well as Stone's edgelord brutality, tapping into an act of brutality cast on TV screens across the nation. It captured a moment of cultural split when Americans realized their government could lie and hide things from them. Every moment of institutional paranoia is an extension of November 22nd, 1963.
Yeah. And you know what character really I think kind of ties in your whole point into like a visual in the film is Garrison's wife. She's very like hesitant and there she has that scene where she is like overtly like not believing him and
Mhm.
very vocal about it. And it takes until Robert Kennedy is murdered for her to think, "Oh shit, this is serious." You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think yeah, it's kind of what you're talking is you need like that cultural divide, and then people just suddenly think, "Oh wow, like you can have conspiracy, but when it happens in certain ways, there's it becomes a point where it's harder to deny it than it is to believe it." And that really, I thought that was portrayed great by his wife. I know people have complaints about like the dynamic between Garrison and his wife and like that role in the movie. We can get back into that later, but I think she kind of almost signified society as a whole through like a main character in the film, and I thought that was really cool.
You know, I do like that. It does ground it a lot more. So you're not having Costner, oh, there's something here, there's something here, there's something here. It's nice to have someone because it does feel like one, this is a big split. We're in the early 60s, and we're going from the era of Elvis to the era of Dylan and the Beatles. We're going from the white picket suburban nuclear family to where things feel like they're growing wildly out of control for the first time kind of since World War II. And it feels like society is shifting, and it feels like culture is shifting. It feels like norms are shifting, and things are shifting in terms of laws. I mean, this is the civil rights era. There's Vietnam War protests and the amount of political violence that's occurring in this decade. I mean, you have JFK's assassination, you have Robert F. Kennedy's assassination, you have Martin Luther King's assassination, which is also shown in the film about an hour in. And it's a time of deep, deep turmoil, and that Sissy Spacek character does kind of tap into this is what life was before the craziness below the surface steep to the top. Like you have Bay of Pigs and kind of that introduction where I know you said it was kind of boring, but it's like something crazy that happened in military jargon. And the Cuban Missile Crisis happened on television screens and newspapers, but people weren't there. It wasn't like it was being broadcast 24/7, but the president was assassinated and it happened on live TV.
Yeah.
And the same thing is why Robert F. Kennedy was such a big moment. You have the famous image of him in the arm, dead in the arms of a bellboy when he was shot in that hotel lobby. It's a time where these violent images are being cast directly onto TV screens and cast directly into newspapers. I mean, Vietnam War, the imagery that is coming out of that. And you go from this idyllic kind of 50s, the this kind of perfect world, I guess, that upper class people set up for themselves after World War II, to what now seems like a dysfunctional society. It seems like America is crumbling into itself.
Yeah,
And I think her
100%.
character does a good job of representing kind of the before and how much
Yeah.
she wants to go back to that, how much she wants to pack all this back away.
100%. And kind of what you're talking about with like the live TV and the role that that played. Um, it's great because these events, obviously, crazy events had happened before, but this was really right at the beginning of kind of live TV broadcast. Um, and it was one of the first instances of kind of the power that the media does have on shaping public opinion. And that was a big aspect of his monologue in the court scene, right? Was the media giants are like how they were used to kind of control the narrative. And you're still seeing that same stuff today. So I think the movie has aged really well in that sense, where it's really touching on themes that really haven't gone anywhere. It is all kind of the same stuff. The Kennedy assassination served as kind of like the first instance of like mass confusion of what happened to something. I know not to get too conspiracy, but when I was a kid, and I don't know how old you were when you first watched the Kennedy assassination, but I couldn't have
You
been
see it
that old. I was
young, you see it young. Some kid shows it to you.
exactly, yeah. I was probably like grade 9 or something when I watched that. And I remember like my first instance was like how many shooters were there? Because I remember seeing that headshot and dude goes the wrong way. You know what I mean? From the other
Mhm.
shots, it doesn't make sense. Um, and I remember after that, go down the rabbit hole as you do, and I learned about the magic bullet theory, and I just take that as fact. It's like, wow, that's crazy that that could have happened. But I just took it as fact until obviously I looked into it more when I was older. But
It is the
the fact that
craziest part of the evidence that's the linchpin that holds it all together. And I mean,
exactly,
I did a lot of research right after I watched this. I thought about making a short film that was like a chamber drama with the Warren Commission where they're debating, because famously four of them agreed with it and three of them thought there was more going on. They thought there was multiple killers. They thought Cuba might have been involved. They thought the CIA might have been involved. They thought the mafia, whatever. They had different theories of what was going on. And there is something that is, I think you're really highlighting, is that they're searching for like truth in pixels.
yeah.
They're looking at the smallest details, and it's if you just keep going closer to that image, can you find the thing that makes sense? Will it click? Will this mystery, will you understand what's going on? And what I like is Stone does this multiple times in this editing. It creates this whirling frenzy. It confuses, it disorients. It's a mystery so large it becomes cosmic. But at the center of it all, on this 8 millimeter film strip of the Zapruder film, is the screaming face of Jackie Kennedy that he'll zoom into like every half hour. That's like the heart of this all.
Yeah.
One, our human want to understand, but also someone who is affected by this. And there is something with the conspiracy that if you just keep looking into individual pixels, the magic bullet theory, the more you go into the JFK assassination, the more things make less and less sense. The more it becomes confusing. And what does this mean? And what does that mean? And it does become disorienting. It's why
100%.
Americans have clung to and obsessed over this for decades.
Mhm. And at the end of the film, it says that the CIA documents will be able to be made public in 2029, man. So we're coming up. We got 4 years left. If that held true, I mean, I haven't looked into it, but
I mean, Costner talks about in the movie how it's like they might just keep kicking it down from one generation to the next.
mm,
Will this become folklore? Will this become a folk tale?
yeah, 100%, man. I feel like the government recently hasn't had the greatest reputation of like publicly releasing files in their full. So I don't know.
Absolutely not. I mean, it's another thing that adds to conspiracy. It's
Mhm.
another set of documents that we don't know. If we had the documents, we'd know the answers. And there's a group of people who know the answers for fact, and they won't be shared with the public.
Yeah, 100%. My my
Uh,
one my one thing like with conspiracies like this that makes me like really hesitant because the movie lays out the facts and it makes a very convincing argument. But the thing I never fully can comprehend is why all these different parties impacted, especially like the local police, right? Why were the people who were being controlled in like allegedly controlled on that day in that situation, why are they staying quiet about that? You know what I
mhm.
mean? How are you able to control? There must have been over 100 people exposed to this at least, with all the different levels that were allegedly involved. How do you not have people coming out and speaking up? And I know, yeah, some people spoke up, some people were killed, right? But how is this not like still a thing where people are like, you know what I mean? Like, how are
I
you
know what you mean.
able
I mean,
to?
I don't believe every word of this movie. I don't treat this movie as like video essay. Like this is fact. You're never gonna believe what happened. Um, but I love following along with the conspiracy. I know some facts are exaggerated. I know some things are just they're stretching it for the sake of I don't know sensationalizing it, and I think there are negative effects to that. Like I do understand that, but I just like I don't know. I like the core of this movie.
Yeah. Do you think, what do you think the impact of this movie was on like modern day JFK conspiracists?
I don't think it did anything, man. I think the people who believed in it, and the people who didn't believe in it. And
Mhm.
I think that's part of the reason why this kind of bounced off. Came out less than 30 years afterwards. That's crazy. And it was kind of met with a that was good. Like good job. That was pretty good. And then it kind of got brushed under the rug as like a big epic of the time when really it's so much more radical than its reputation allows it. This feels like a movie that I'm surprised that everybody hasn't seen. I mean, it
Mhm.
moves so quick. It's a never you can find issues with it, but I never find it boring. It's 3 hours and it moves with just this kinetic pace. Like
Yeah.
it's something like an Oppenheimer or a Wolf of Wall Street, where it's just like feels like nonstop propulsion for 3 hours.
I was gonna say, like, to the length, there's not many scenes I would take out.
No,
Mm.
and I was going to say at the center of this, kind of driving this, the engine is Costner's Paragon. Costner's voice of reason. Right here, heat-seeking missile towards a truth he may not even want to know. He is trying to find light in figures of shadow. Richardson's overexposed cinematography shines that light directly into Costner's glasses, which is a great visual when his glasses are like almost white with the light catching them. You know what I'm talking about? It's just all the time. Like sometimes he'll just look at the
Oh,
light and
yeah.
his glasses will go white. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
I love that visual. I think Costner, if he isn't doing his A game, if he isn't killing this movie falls apart because
Yeah.
he does hold all these disparate pieces together. And that last hour, the courtroom stuff, the last hour is flawless. Like I think
Yeah.
it's some of the best filmmaking ever.
Mhm.
It's literally in like an hour long monologue that's just acrobatics and acrobatics, and somehow he like sticks the landing and is better than you think it's going to be.
Yeah, 100%. The moment that first got me hooked into it, well, I was hooked into it earlier, but the moment that happened where I didn't stop watching after that fact was that the Joe Pesci David Ferry scene, right? And
Mm,
you know the one I'm talking about where he has that quote that you said earlier, right? And the one that from that same thing that I like even maybe a little better is even the shooters didn't know who did it. I love that. That was
love it,
so
love it.
he was like manic when he was doing that, and that was I was like, okay, man, people are starting to break. It's starting to get a lot more emotional. And yeah, and dude, his cat. I don't know about you. I laughed the first time I saw him on screen. That wig and
Oh, he looks
eyebrows were
crazy. The eyebrows are all the way like down. They're down to his nose.
oh, 100%. Yeah. That was I mean, I've seen Joe Pesci movies, but that was such a fun character that I haven't
Yeah.
seen. For me, that was my personal favorite character in the whole film. That just captivated. I wish she didn't get killed off, but that's
I mean,
what
that
happened.
image, the image where it flashes, and this is a lot of the movie was is the speculation, the things we don't see and the way we interpret them,
Mhm.
is that image where it's in black and white and it's the FBI people or the CIA people around the Joe Pesci character, and they're like holding his mouth shut to make him swallow the pills, and it's like all dark and you can't really make it out, but it also like it's so clear. It's such like a clear framing and blocking of people as he's like shaking. It's there for a second, like a jump scare, and it really does stick in your mind. It's the like he doesn't see what happened. He might have killed himself. He might have been killed, but he's letting his mind wander, and it's just that split image is one of my favorite shots in the movie.
And all those speculation scenes throughout the whole thing, they kind of have like a wavy feeling to them, and I love that. Because it's like it's a way better version of like when you shoot in Mexico, everything goes yellowed. You know what I mean? Like when you have
Hmm.
a visual to signify a certain aspect of the film and kind of what you're trying to portray. I absolutely love the use of that. You said they won awards, right? Did they win award for anything like that?
They won an award, cinematography and editing.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
This is
close
a
enough.
tough year to beat. This is a tough year to beat because it's one of the famous times where all Big Five awards are won by the same movie. And it's Silence of the Lambs. Because Silence of the Lambs wins picture, Jonathan Demme, great director, wins director, Jodie Foster, actress, Anthony Hopkins, actor, and then it wins adapted screenplay.
Mm,
So it,
yeah.
it kind of runs into like a buzzsaw. And also, I think Costner just won Best Director in cinematography. Well, he didn't win cinematography, but his movie did. Cinematography and picture with Dances with Wolves, literally the year before.
Yeah.
So I feel like they kind of go back a little bit. I mean, it would have been nice if someone got a nice supporting nomination. I feel like Tommy Lee Jones should have got a supporting nomination. I think he's fantastic. Gary Oldman. I love
Yeah.
Joe Pesci in this movie. I mean, it's just like a murderer's row of fantastic actors. They're bringing back old guys. You got Jack Lemmons in the first couple minutes of the movie. Walter Matthau has a scene. Um, so many great performances.
How many of Stone's films have you seen? Do you think this is his best?
This is my favorite Stone. Yeah. I mean, we
Okay.
were talking about Scarface. He writes Scarface before he starts directing.
Oh,
Brian De
he did.
Palma,
That's
Brian
cool.
De Palma directs Scarface, but Oliver Stone writes it.
Interesting.
Um,
I know
so
that. I
my
need
two
to,
favorite movies we've covered on the pod have both involved Oliver Stone.
and I definitely haven't seen most of them. He had one of a more recent one that I'd watched. Forget what it was, but the one that stood out to me,
Snowden. Snowden's the last big one.
Snowden. Yeah, yeah, Snowden, awesome. But Platoon. I didn't know he did that, and I will put Platoon over this one personally.
Okay.
But
Have you
this
seen Wall Street?
I've not seen Wall Street. I've heard
Buddy,
good things.
you would love Wall Street. You would be
Yeah,
really into it.
yeah. Does the suit give that impression?
I think it gives that impression. I feel like I'm looking at Gordon Gekko right now.
Oh yeah.
No, no, no. What's your platoon thoughts?
Um, man, it's been a while. I think did you suggest it to me, or I think I went down a
I don't think
Sheen.
I suggested it to you.
I think I went down a Sheen rabbit hole when I watched it. I say I don't like war movies, but then I list off 10 that I actually love. So I feel like
I feel
at
the
that
same way.
at that point I might like war movies, but I just think it's a really well-made war movie, right? It focuses on kind of every aspect of it. I don't like those like straightforward just action movies like this is a bad example, like because this is a fun movie too, but like the Bourne movies, you know what I mean, where it's just like action the whole time.
I really only like
Um,
the first Born. I'm not a
yeah.
Born trilogy head.
So the thing is, like Platoon, you have your action, you have your scenes. You're like, oh man, but you also have like character development. You have raw emotion, right? You have all that stuff, and that's kind of what war is. And I think Platoon did a good job of that. And I like the community aspect of the different people in that film. Um, on a second watch, though, this one might overtake it.
It
But
only
we'll
gets
still.
better, man. It only gets better. Because
I
you begin to pick up details that now that you know now you know the theory, the big story he sets up over the course of 2 hours. Once you see that, a lot of the early stuff clicks into place. Like there's a scene, there's the scene where they're talking about early on how Lee Harvey Oswald was selling like communist pamphlets for Cuba or whatever, right below like the CIA building and the FBI building and town hall or whatever. And
yeah.
then he's saying that the FBI go and get a fight, but it's all like this arranged fight. You watch that scene again, and it's clear as day. Tommy Lee Jones's Clay shot is standing right there. He's not
Oh,
hidden.
really?
He's not hidden at all. He's literally standing right there, and you don't clock it until you don't clock it the first time. You don't put it together on the way back. But
No.
then you see Tommy Lee Jones show up an hour in, and they bring him in on Easter Sunday, which is a great scene as well. And I think
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones killed it. He's kind of my standout of the supporting cast. But there are multiple times in that first hour when it goes to like flashback, and he's just standing right there. Clear as day, anybody can see him. It's not like he's hidden all the way in the back. You won't be able to miss him.
Okay, yeah. I remember him in the flashback in the last one, but I think that's when they showed up to the voting booth, not the actual
Mm.
pamphlet. I could be
He's
getting
right there in that pamphlet scene.
okay, I gotta I'm not gonna rewatch it yet. I just got out of
Well,
it,
you
but
you don't need to watch the 4 hour version again.
yeah, where do I find it? Man, it's not on streaming anywhere. I had to pirate
I
this
I
thing.
mean, yeah, I paid $5 for Apple.
Okay, I should have done that. Should have supported.
Okay,
Okay,
JFK flaws, you got him.
yes, I got flaws in this. I did love it. It's not a perfect movie. I don't think you think it's a perfect movie either, even
I think it's
though
pretty
you
close.
love it. My biggest thing, there was one scene that I hated, man.
Okay.
And maybe it was too deep for me to comprehend. Right after RFK gets killed, dude goes and basically sleeps with his wife while crying and having an identity crisis. And their makeout is so gross. There's spit like falling off of his. Maybe that was cut from the 4 hour version. Maybe that scene didn't make it onto your screen. I don't know. That was
I
horrendous watching. Like, dude,
I didn't see
this
that much
guy.
spit. Maybe the 4 hour, maybe the extra 40 minutes is that kissing. That's why you didn't
Yeah,
like it.
they just add spit for 40 minutes. Dude, there was like strands. It was like,
Really?
dude,
They cut that out of my version.
yeah, okay. I guess maybe you act a little silly when like something tragic happens, right? I get that. But this moment really just confirmed your conspiracy that you were kind of starting to have doubts on. He wasn't, but everyone around him was, right? And this moment really said, no, this is something that's happening.
Mhm.
And he wakes up his wife at like 2 in the morning. She's like, huh? Oh, he got shot too. She almost starts crying, and then they start making out with spit everywhere. It was, I don't know, it threw me off. It didn't make any sense. It would have made more sense if she just cried and hugged him, in my
Which is
opinion.
what happens in my version. And I don't love the scene either. I think it's when RFK gets shot, she like immediately has a change of heart where she's like, I totally agree with everything you've been doing. I've been so wrong. Which I feel like is a little unearned. And you have a 3 hour movie, like an extra scene to show that the stages would have been nice. I'm asking for it to be longer. But I
Is it
do
more?
love that final shot of the scene, which is them cuddling in bed. And it's
Yeah.
like most of it's dark because of the doorway, and they're kind of barely lit, and you can see them sprawled out on the bed. I just think that's a gorgeous shot.
All right, that's fair, I guess. I don't know. It wasn't for me. I don't think it had a place, and that's kind of when I read reviews. A lot of the complaints of the film were like, why is this dude's wife just mad at him all the time, right? Like
I
this
think
was like
that's
an
kind of the
unneeded,
weakest part too. I put that in here,
yeah,
maybe my one flaw.
unneeded storyline arc in the film. Don't really know why it had to be there. It was already long enough. You didn't need this thing that really didn't lead to anything. Um, it didn't make him reconsider, hey, maybe I shouldn't be delving my whole life into this. No, he just kept doing what he was doing, saying, no, you're not going to leave me. and then RFK gets shot, and all of a sudden everything's okay. And then she shows up to the courtroom with her kid, and it's supposed to be a big moment. It's like it's only a big moment because you put in this unnecessary storyline arc in there. And I was actually excited because I was like, oh, she's going to divorce him. This is going to make him look even crazier in the eyes of the public. Maybe her believing that she should leave her husband was part of the whole CIA operation. You know what I mean? Like, what if it gets that big and they're trying to discredit him and make him look like this bad person? But no, it's instantly cut short. It doesn't really build up to anything. And I don't think that RFK scene is supposed to be that turning point in their marriage. And for me, it was just gross. I didn't want it there. So that whole arc could have done without it.
I
And
mean,
I want to know your opinion on that.
I like the idea, like I said earlier, but like she feels like from an earlier time, and it's kind of these two cultures kind of contrasting and bumping up against each other.
Yeah,
But I
agreed.
write here in the dossier, maybe my one flaw, sometimes the scenes between Costner and Spacek are a bit cliche. His sacrifice of the American dream and his white picket fence family works, but is a little heavy-handed at times, especially in how it paints her to be someone who just stands in his way and in the way of the film's momentum. Nobody
Mhm.
likes a character who is telling the main character, stop doing the exciting thing. Stop doing the plot. Like the
Yeah,
number one example that I use of this, and I think people are way too mean to her and way too mean to the actress, but the amount of hate
Tyler.
Skylar White gets. And
Yeah,
I think Skylar's a good character. And you need a character like that in a story like that. And the amount of stuff Walt rapes her in like episode 3. Like she's been through whatever. She's been through a ton. But
hmm,
nobody likes the character who tells the main character, stop doing the plot. And usually they assign that role to the one woman of the film. Like Laurie
yeah.
Metcalf gets stuff to do, but it does kind of suck a little bit. The one woman in JFK is being like, stop doing the investigation. Let's just pause this movie.
Who's that character? That other woman who's like one of the investigators, and she just knows all the craziest shit. She's always bringing in these crazy plot holes with no like background to where she found them. She's just saying all these facts in their group meetings. Do you know the girl I'm talking about?
Laurie
She brings
Metcalf,
in. Oh, is that who it is?
the actress, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Hmm.
know. I think I right here, I think it's a work of genius. I think it's a definitive American film. It's one of my all-time favorites. I do think the Costner SpaceX stuff, I do kind of bounce off it. And especially on this viewing, I do kind of like I get the criticism. And I also get the criticism that it's long. Like I do get how someone can get tired because it's intentionally confusing you. It's
Hmm.
intentionally disorienting you. And on second, third, fourth viewing, it makes way more sense. It's way easier to follow. But I can get the criticism that people are like, well, it's a movie designed to confuse me.
Yeah.
And
And
I
like
understand that. I'm not going to be like, no, the movie's too smart for you, man. Like, you don't understand the movie. Like, I'm not going to be like that. I get why people bounce off this. And I think it's why it becomes this like underrated hidden gem. Is because it's one that asks a lot of its audience.
it's not easily accessible at all. And
No,
with
it's
the
tough. It's a tough movie.
confusion, I think that's what makes the courtroom scene so much better is that it ties in the previous 2.5 hours of random chaos into a streamlined chain of events that makes it comprehensible to someone who maybe wasn't paying full attention to everything that happened earlier,
Yeah.
right? The first 2/3 of the movie has you putting all the pieces together yourself and think, whoa, no way that happened. What? This is crazy. And then any confusion is really kind of cleared up in that super satisfying climax of the film that is that courtroom scene. And they go through all of the important parts again. They show the important flashbacks. They show it all. And what I love is that's the first time they actually show Kennedy being murdered. And
Yes. Yes, that's true.
it's like this big thing because earlier throughout the film, right, you see Jackie, you see the people running, you see the arrests, you see all the footage except for the exact moment, right? And showing that actual shot and then seeing the reaction of all these people in the courtroom watching it, it was like, you know, that feeling when all your stress gets released. It's like, oh,
Yes.
it's that equivalent of your confusion being released. I don't know if there's a word for that. There's probably
I
some
don't
Latin.
it feel but what it feels like to me is when you watch like one of those Knives Out movies when you got Benoit Blanc and you don't know
Mhm.
what's going on in the movie for the first 2 hours. Like I know you can follow it, but you don't know the mystery. Like they're working on the mystery because that's what this is. This is a mystery movie. And at the
Mhm.
end, the detective explains everything, and the whole movie clicks. You're like, oh my God. That's what
Yeah.
I think it is.
Mhm. No, I know what you mean. That just like satisfying ending, and that's something that I loved about
It's a
not just
murder mystery. That's really what this movie is at its core.
it is a murder mystery. Yeah, 100%. The movie with very satisfying ending, but not really satisfying. Uncut Gems too, right at the end where
Love
it's
Uncut
so
Gems. We
much.
talked about it on the podcast.
It just, yeah, it just all the stress release, even though it's not a satisfying ending. And the same thing with this film, it's not satisfying. Dude was found not guilty. I will say though, like from a legal standpoint, I agree with the jury. You don't have any evidence to convict the guy that was actually accused. And yes, 100%. And that whole monologue at the end, I feel like that wasn't really, I mean, I don't know, maybe
It's
that would
him
have been
making his
allowed, but
plea to God more than a jury.
exactly. It was so off the point of the actual case at hand. None of the last 30 minutes of what he was talking about in the courtroom had anything to do with the defendant whatsoever. None of the evidence was admissible. There was that one key piece that he said, no, we're not going to hear the testimony of him saying that his alias was his alias. Um, all this. So they had nothing against the guy. Obviously, I knew he wouldn't be found guilty. Otherwise, it would be a different history of what happened on that day. Um, so it wasn't like a surprise to the viewer that he was found unguilty. And I don't think it was a surprise to Garrison either. He knew that that was coming. He said that maybe like an hour and a half earlier, saying it doesn't like, yes, I know we might not get a conviction, but we need to do that first punch because like 30 years from now,
Yeah.
whatever, people will start to understand. And I don't know, maybe we could talk about that. How do you think like people are feeling now? I know I guess it's 30 years from the movie, right? And what, 60 years from when Kennedy was killed? I'm not sure on the exact year, but um
63. 11 22
60.
63.
I feel like more people are like okay with the fact that it wasn't one shooter. Do you know what I mean? There's more
Yeah.
hesitancy, and you're not called crazy for not believing the magic bullet
I
theory
mean,
necessarily.
there is polls of Americans in the 70s, a decade later, where the majority of Americans thought there was some kind of external force other than Harvey Lee Oswald acted alone. Whether that's an external party, whether that's another shooter, but it was like 70% of Americans had doubts. Before it was like 30. In the span of one decade, there were changes. Whether that be the pulp paperback market that erupted off stuff like this. And I mean, the conspiracy theories in the 60s had so many of these kind of paperbacks. Like you look at the stuff like that book, like stuff about MK Ultra is very similar, where opinions are changing and the media is kind of hyping this up and sensationalizing it. I don't think it's as controversial now. I mean, I don't really know. I don't really have a clear take. For as much as I love this movie, like I don't have a this is my take. But definitely public opinion has rose that there's something else going on, or at least people think there's something else going on. And whether that is because there's a conspiracy, or well, there's a conspiracy, but whether that is people think one thing or another, it's there are things that are unclear. Everybody agrees on that. But it's what do you fill in the blanks? And
Mhm.
everybody fills in the blanks in a different way. And once again, we're back to that the murder of the Joe Pesci character and what Costner thinks, and that he sees him being strangled and pills forced down his throat, but another person says suicide. How do we fill in the blanks of what we cannot see in everyday life and in our institutions? And what happens in the rooms we can't see?
Yeah. And like, yeah, that ties into present day with I feel like this Epstein stuff has really made people reevaluate these past conspiracies and think, wow, like there's so many similarities, right? The first complainants against Epstein died by suicide. Um, and the deeper you look into that, the more and more weird stuff happened. And with the
The
way
amount
that
of powerful people involved.
exactly, right? Yeah. And the way that things have been released and certain agencies and people have been covering up things that doesn't really make sense why they're covering it up. It's almost just mainstream thought now that the government's not fully transparent. And when that's basically confirmed, especially like MK Ultra is confirmed to have happened. That's not a
Yeah,
conspiracy anymore.
yeah,
What is a conspiracy is what were the extents of it, right?
yeah.
They had that ship that they like blew up themselves, but they said was did they say it was Cuba or I don't know the exact scenario, but there was like these fake military operations that forced public opinion in some ways, and so many of these things have become confirmed now, where it's in present day, now 60 years past, you look back at something like this and maybe hearing these theories when Garrison was trying to bring this to court. Obviously, yeah, you would think that this guy was crazy in the moment, but looking back on that now, it's like, no, this is very much in the realm of possibility. This isn't batshit crazy. Yes, conspiracy theories, most of it is probably exaggerated. A lot of the things aren't true, but some of the things are true, right? And that's kind of the whole point of it, where there is truth within these things, but there's so much falsehood surrounding it that one, you don't know what is true, you don't know what to believe. But the truth isn't able to see the light of day or be acknowledged as truth because it's just surrounded by so much other stuff. And I don't know. I think it's cool kind of watching this movie now with that insight because you can kind of see like people are calling Garrison a crazy man, even though multiple facts in his case were proven
Yeah.
through
It's the
like
first cracks beginning to show that lead to what you were talking about.
exactly, right? And obviously he brought in more things that weren't proven and more speculative, right? That's why I think the the some of the courtroom stuff that he was saying is like you don't really have concrete proof to back that up. I wouldn't be bringing that up in the courtroom, but it's a movie, so I'm not really going to complain about that. But yeah, I don't know. There's just it's so I think the movie does such a great job, right, of kind of casting how society reacts to someone like that, but then also what you're saying with the paranoia and how the person who's saying those things is experiencing mentally during that time as well. And that aspect of the movie was just phenomenal for me. It really, really
I
captured that.
agree. I agree. That's why I thought you would like it, man.
Mhm. Honestly, now, I mean, I only finished it 2 hours ago, and now even talking about it, I'm starting to like it even more.
It's
I
one
think
that
it's,
just grows in your estimation.
yeah. I think it's definitely going to be a grower. And I like showing movies that I like to other people, but it's going to be a hard one to convince someone to sit down and
It
watch.
is, it is, that's what I mean. It's not like immediately kick off to the races. You're like, oh my God, oh my God. It's one that builds and builds and builds for 3 hours. It's
Mhm.
unsatisfying at the end, but you walk away and you're like, I think I just saw one of the great American movies.
Yeah.
At least that's my estimation.
I think I
Okay.
will argue with that point. I think it is a satisfying ending. I don't think we needed the
Like
conviction for it to.
narratively, dramatically, it's satisfying, but like the we don't know the real answer stuff. It's not like it solves the mystery.
Yeah.
It's a murder mystery where the mystery isn't solved.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Not truly.
Yeah, 100%.
Like
And
people ask Garrison right before he goes to court, they're like, "What happened with this?" He's like, I don't know. Like I don't know."
that brings back to the Pesci line. Like, even the shooters don't know who did it.
Yeah,
Even if you're the one to pull the trigger, you don't really know what went on behind to lead up to that, right? It was probably someone just got paid a bunch of money to do it. I do think it obviously focused a lot on the CIA. I think the mob was probably likely more involved as like more the forefront. I don't know, man.
I don't like
What am
that's
I? Yeah,
it's the great paranoia epic. It's something.
it really
Okay.
is.
Carly does trivia, and she got kind of mad at me last time we did an episode because I forgot to do trivia with you.
Oh, dude, is
So
this Kevin Costner trivia,
this
dude?
is Kevin Costner trivia, and it's hard as shit because I don't know. The best anybody's ever done on one of these is 6 out of 10.
I'm
Um,
gonna try to go for 1 out of 10, man.
I mean, one time she did the trivia to me, and it was on like Adam Sandler or not Adam Sandler, Al Pacino got like zero. Like first episode, I just blank.
All right, well, I don't know much Costner, so I'll try my best.
Okay, we're gonna see how you do. The best is six, I believe. Two people have six. I mean, Lucy has six, and she took your longest episode title, so she's just fucking you over. And then
Yeah,
Richard did six last week. Quaid did really well when Quaid came
yeah.
on the podcast.
All right.
Okay. True or false, after directing and starring in Dances with Wolves, a film that follows Union Army officer John J. Dunbar as he assimilates himself into a Lakota Sioux community, Costner was adopted into the Sioux tribe for his positive portrayal. True or false? That Costner's an honorary member of the Sioux community.
Language of origin. Okay.
Say true or false. You got 50-50
Yeah,
chance.
let's go. Okay, my mind would think that this is too elaborate to be false, so I'm going true.
It is true. You're 100% so far.
Let's go.
A Bodyguard sequel was in the works starring which iconic public figure before it was scrapped? A. Cher, B. Princess Diana, C. Celine Dion, D. Naomi Campbell.
Dude, Diana would be crazy. I'm going Diana.
It is Diana. You're 100%.
Let's go.
Does Costner have more or less than three Razzie wins? Razzie's like worst. So it could be
Yeah,
for actor, director, picture. Does he
more
have
or less.
more or less than three?
I'm going less.
It's more. Five. Worst
Really?
actor for Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Worst actor for Wyatt Earp. Worst actor for The Postman. Worst director for The Postman. Worst picture for The Postman.
Yeah.
Born on January 18th, what is Kevin Costner's zodiac sign?
Oh,
I don't know this shit either, man. I don't know any of these.
Jupiter's not an answer, right?
Oh, I don't think so.
Uh, Aquarius.
It says Capricorn.
Ah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
have guessed that either. Before his break into acting, Costner worked on which Disneyland ride? A. Indiana Jones Adventure. B. Haunted Mansion. C. Jungle Cruise. D. It's a Small World.
Indiana Jones.
It's Jungle Cruise. 2 for 5. You still got time. You still got
Got
time.
time.
Go seven.
I can go
True or
seven.
false? Costner previously owned a casino in South Dakota.
False.
It's true. Which family member did Costner rehearse his long trial monologue with?
His grandma.
His mother. Kevin Costner's first film project, The Big Chill, which he was eventually cut out of, was produced with the help of which late night host? A. Carson, B. Letterman, C. Dick Cavett, D. Phil Donahue.
Carson.
It is Carson. What did Costner keep from filming Bull Durham? A. A baseball bat. B. Susan Sarandon's character's cat. C. His character's Mustang. D. A chair from the home stadium.
The cat.
It's the Mustang.
That's what I would have picked too.
True or false? Costner getting choked up in the final summation scene of JFK was not in the script. Was the crying improv?
Where did he cry?
At the end, he gets like choked up, like he has tears in his eyes. He's not like bawling, but like choked up.
I said that wasn't improv.
Wasn't?
No.
It was improv. Was not in the script. 3 for 10. Get off the podcast. Nah, that's actually kind of average.
Okay, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Next
Our
time.
best is a 60. Our best is a 60. So
All right, what else we got to touch on about the movie, man? Do we did weaknesses, right? Should we talk about I guess we kind of did strong points already.
yeah,
Do you want to talk about some new films hitting the theaters and ones that have come out recently?
I'll talk about some new films. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, I haven't seen Obsession. I'm seeing it
I'm
this weekend. I'm excited. I'm excited to see Backrooms.
I'm seeing Backrooms on Monday. I'll let you know my opinion on it.
And okay, we'll talk about Backrooms. We'll call and we'll talk about that. But I haven't seen the two hit horror movies. But you texted me, and the reason why I have tickets to Obsession
Because
is
I was
because
having
you
it.
said it was like the best horror movie, one of the best you've ever seen.
Yeah. Out of first watch, it was my best reaction since I think Midsommar. Uh,
A movie I'm more mixed on.
and that's the thing, it didn't age well for me at all. I know Obsession will though. Obsession is going
I
to be good for like 3 or 4 watches.
okay.
Midsummer, the second watch, I was like, nah, I couldn't care for it. The first watch was crazy because of shock value. That first suicide scene was insane.
I worked in a movie theater when Midsommar came out when I
Oh,
was in
really?
grade 10. And I
Mhm.
remember I was like the youngest one there, and there were a couple older girls, and they were like in my first week there, like, you gotta see Midsommar, you gotta see the scene. So it was like our lunch break or whatever break. And we go and they had it timed out perfectly because they would just watch like they knew when the scares were. So we go
Mhm.
into the theater and we sit in the back and I see the suicide scene out of context. And it
Oh,
fucked my shit up, bro.
yeah, no, that was that really it caught me off guard. I didn't think they were gonna show it, and then they zoomed in and out
It's
and in.
awful. It's awful. I don't know. It's a lot, man. I'm not a big Midsommar fan. I also just kind of find it boring. Like I gotta be honest.
That's yeah, there's
The
a lot
recent
of
horror
it.
movie that I loved, if we're talking last few years, the last one I really connected with, Nosferatu. That's a masterpiece.
Yeah, I've heard incredible things, but it's on streaming now, so I'm sure I'll check it over the
I
next couple.
was That was something else. I walked to the theater, I was like spinning. It
My
was
thing is
it scared
vampire.
me, man. That movie, not a lot of movies scare me. That one scared me.
Okay, that's good to hear. Vampire movies aren't usually my thing, but I
No,
love
it's not me
Sinners.
either.
So, I don't even know if I can call Sinners a vampire movie, man. I liked it for the music. Backrooms, I'm excited for. I don't really know anything. I just saw the trailer when I was watching Obsession. I was like, yeah, I'm going to see that. That looks insane. It looks like a mix between like an A24 horror movie and Severance. You know what I mean?
It looks cool, and it's a young filmmaker. The kid's 20.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he might be the
Okay,
youngest filmmaker to go #1 at the box office.
that'd be really cool.
But he's
So,
got that big Obsession weekend two coming up.
yes, well,
Because the
that
word of mouth is crazy. Like it's not just you.
Obsession is one of the biggest movies in a while to what do better week two than week one.
Yeah, no, that's fucked.
Something
Like
crazy
I
like
think it's going to be every. It feels like that's so rare. We've got a really healthy box office right now. But
Mhm.
before COVID, you have movies like The Great Showman, Greatest Showman. Though you know what I'm talking about, the
Yeah,
musical. And that movie did its best week in like week 6.
which
Like
is
I think Obsession's going to keep growing, and it's a movie that costs less than $1 million to make.
yeah, they've already well. Do you know much about the background of the movie or
I
Curry?
barely know anything. I barely know anything
It,
about Obsession. I'm so excited though to get into that.
it's sick. They made it for under a mil, right? They debuted it at TIFF, if I'm not mistaken, last year,
That
and,
sounds right to me.
and it got bought out. I'm not sure the company Blumhouse is involved in it, so maybe it's them who bought it. I'm not really sure. They do tons of horror movies, so I wouldn't be surprised. Um, And yeah, it did what? They got bought it out for 18 mil or 16, something like that. It was in my, I could be mistaken, but I think it was the biggest purchase from TIFF ever for indie
Oh,
filmmaker.
really?
I could be wrong on that.
I don't know.
It broke some sort of record of like because they bought it almost instantly too for the
Mhm.
highest amount ever made, which is crazy. But I don't know if you've watched Curry Barker's sketch stuff, but it's hilarious.
It's good.
Very much Tim Robinson style. I don't want to say he's ripping off Tim Robinson because there's definitely different aspects of it, but certain of his gimmicks are very Tim Robinson like, and you'll notice that a little bit in Obsession. Where did you watch Friendship? Friendship was awesome. I don't know if you've seen that.
Loved Friendship. One of my favorites of last year.
Yeah, so it feels like if Friendship was a horror movie. You know what I mean? These comedy people make great horror movies, man, and
Jordan Peele, Zach Kreger. Like the
dude,
Jordan
yeah,
Peele movies, love Get Out, love Us, love Nope. I'm a big fan of Weapons. That's one of my favorite horror movies recently. I know you were a little more mixed on that one.
I really liked Weapons. I just don't think it's. Um, I don't know. I'll talk to you after you watch Obsession. I think Obsession is
Okay,
better.
I'll let
Uh,
you know. I'll let you know. I'll text you.
it feels like one of those like teen horror movies I would have watched when I was in like grade eight.
Okay.
But it's just well made, if that makes sense. Like it feels like the maybe like the cameras they use or something. It feels like one of those like it feels like it's made by someone from Gen Z, but in the best way possible. And it I was talking to my friend about this, and he asked me right after we watched, he said, "Do you think this is like the future of kind of like indie filmmaking?" And it's like of people who build their audiences on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, and they use the funding they make from that to make short indie films, and then they use the funding they make from that to make actual full length projects. I was like, I think that's exactly the direction it's going. I think that was a very good point he brought up, and I actually brought up
Is that
you with
Luke?
the short. Yeah, is Luke. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
With, I brought.
Luke texted me. You know what? I'll shut this out in the pod. I don't know if that's posted on YouTube, but Luke, great short film.
Oh, dude, his thing is awesome.
I thought it was really cool. I asked him some questions. How did he film it? How did he color grade it? Because I don't know if it's on YouTube, so I don't want to spoil anything. But
Oh,
I
no.
don't know. There's a thing where I'm like, I don't know how he did that. And I
Oh,
mean, there's animations throughout. They look great. No, that's really impressive. And I think that was his thesis
so
project.
talented.
I was like, that's a cool piece of work.
No, so he had some really great takes after we watched the film, and I totally agree with him on how that's kind of like the new direction that this industry is going towards. And I know with the Warner Bros. Deal and all that, there was that whole conversation of is like theaters dying, right? Especially post COVID, right? I feel the last 2 years, man, it's been bumping.
The
Like
box office is back. And
it
Gen
is.
Z, our generation, is in love with going back to the theaters.
We
And we, the
really
millennials, weren't.
I went to this actually really surprised me. I bought Obsession tickets like a week in advance. I was like, oh, Um, it's just gonna be an empty theater, right?
Yeah.
I show up, it's like half full on like a Tuesday night. And I'm like, okay, that's saying something. And I didn't even go when Obsession was popping. I went 3 days after release. It
Yeah.
was brand new. The reason I actually got onto it is because my friend sent me a Curry Barker sketch on Instagram, and I was laughing. I was like, went through all of his account, and all the comments were saying, "No way, this is the same guy who made Obsession." I was like, "What's this?" Search it up. It's like just dropped. I'm like, "Okay, let's go watch it."
Yeah.
Best decision ever made, man. It is great. And maybe I'm overhyping it. I That could be the case, but
I'm excited to see it. I'm excited.
even if you don't love the movie, if you don't like some technical parts of it, you will it's an enjoyable watch. And I think that's all you can really ask for a movie that was made for
Yeah.
850K, man. Like
And you
I
know
will
what? It's such a switch in what Gen Z wants. I mean, we're going back to theaters. We're excited about the theaters. We're excited about original filmmakers, young
Yep.
filmmakers, risky projects, projects that are out there. We're into all that. I didn't go see Obsession, but what I did see this weekend was Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Grogu. And it
Is it
was
good?
awful. I hated it. And I love Star Wars. I'm not, you know what, shut him out, but Evan, man, that guy loves Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm not dissing him here, but one time he showed me a list and it was like his 200 favorite Star Wars characters and didn't put Han Solo in the top 25. I thought that was fucking bad shit. I don't know how you make a list of Star Wars characters and Han Solo's not in the top 25.
If there's
Then
someone's
I love you, but that was
him,
crazy.
he
But
knows every inch of Star Wars lore.
he knows so much. It's crazy. But I saw Mandalorian and Grogu and I didn't like it. I thought it was boring. I thought it was long. I wasn't into it. My dad loved Star Wars. He wasn't into it. And we saw it in a mostly empty theater. And no
Really?
one's talking about the newest Star Wars movie in 7 years. You know what they are talking about?
Seven.
Young filmmakers making horror. And
Yeah.
it's such a turning point in what people want out of their movie theaters, what people want out of the industry. It's exciting me. I do love Star Wars though, but it is exciting that people once again are back into original projects. And do we see something like the 70s, the new Hollywood, where there's all these young filmmakers coming up, all these young directors making risky projects, and studios handing them money because they're like, we think you, the directors and the auteurs, know better than we do. And if we
Mhm.
can get a second new Hollywood, if this is the start of something, God, am I excited.
Yeah, no, it's we have an exciting future ahead of us, man. And even this summer, what Odyssey's coming out? I can't wait to watch that. And
Odyssey, I mean, my most excited movie of the year. I know I'm talking about like the new guard, the new guard. Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day.
mhm,
Steven Spielberg doing Aliens. I'm there. Day one.
that's gonna be good.
Um,
That's gonna be very
and
good.
later in the year, Doom Messiah is coming out.
Yeah, that will also be good.
I don't know if it's December or January or at the end of the year, but Martin Scorsese's new movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence is coming out.
Oh, I didn't know that was
He's making a horror movie set in Eastern Europe where those two go to Eastern Europe to adopt a baby and some fuck shit happens.
oh, that's gonna be great.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Leo, Jennifer Lawrence, Martin Scorsese horror movie.
Dude, this
I'm
is
already in the theater. I'm already seated for
yeah,
that.
this is a yeah, such a great outlook because like three
It
years
didn't
ago,
feel like this a few years ago. No.
no, I was like, man, like this kind of sucks. Every movie's sequels. It's just lame films, overproduced, not good. Just feels like cash grabs, and it killed the industry.
Yeah.
And it's if I'm starting to feel life again, and that's really exciting. When do you said you're going to see Obsession on Saturday?
Yeah. Think so.
If you have time before that, he has a film for free on YouTube.
Is this milk
Uh,
and cereal?
yeah, have you seen Milk and Cereal?
No.
Okay, it's an hour long. Watch it, man. And it is awesome. I
Okay.
need to give my pitch for Milk and Cereal,
Give your
but
pitch, bro.
I wouldn't call myself a film guy, but I definitely enjoy films more than the average person, and I can have appreciation for art, even if I don't
You've
like the
got
movie.
good taste, man. You got good taste.
I appreciate it. But kind of what we're saying, we're so excited at this new and up and coming thing. And Obsession it feels like a moment in time of and okay, I know I'm overhyping this movie. You're gonna watch it, it's like, yeah, that was
I'm
great,
gonna watch
but
it, and be like, Silas wasted my fucking money.
it's not a waste of
I'm gonna
it.
send you an e-transfer request that you're gonna pay my tickets back.
My thing is, it's a great movie. It's a perfect movie for the budget it was made for, and for it being his first like official film. You know what I mean? It's a perfect movie in that sense. But his precursor, Milk and Cereal, man, this budget is insane. $800. It's an hour long. It's on YouTube, and the whole film is a found footage movie. I went into it thinking, oh, it's gonna be like a paranormal activity thing, right? Which I love those movies as a kid, 100%, but they don't hold the test of time really. And I don't know if this will either. However, it was such a fun and engaging watch the whole time. And he plays the star character, and his the sketches he makes is with another guy called I think it's Cooper Tomlinson, or Cooper for sure. Um, but he's the other like main character, and it's these two roommates who are like prank YouTubers, and they're pulling pranks on each other, and it's the found footage of them filming these pranks that they were going to post on YouTube against each other, but then things just kind of end up going a little too wrong. You know what I mean? It's an hour long. It is worth every single second of your time. Don't get 15 minutes in and say, ah, no, this isn't for me. I wasn't immediately captured, but I'm glad I stuck it out because man, it was insane. And I will say I watched it after I watched Obsession because I saw that I'm like, wow, this is insane. What else does this guy have? So I watched that after. However, I think it would be useful to go the other way around to kind of see
Okay.
his evolution between just two movies. He has also another one called The Chair, and he has
Okay.
another 20-minute one that I'm blanking on the name of, but they're both on YouTube as well. The Chair's a little more produced. Found footage always feels low budget just because that's what it is. It's filmed like
Yeah,
on a phone.
inherently.
Exactly, right? Um, Milk and Cereal is just it's awesome. I am amazed that they were able to accomplish that even with 800, even though it is found footage. Like yes, the filming cost nothing. I get that, right? But even the effects that were part of it, everything looked real. Everything was scary. I was I felt uneasy after watching it. I was watching an actual psychopath on screen,
Really.
and is I can't wait for your opinion on Obsession, man, because you watch a psychopath on the screen, but it's not what you expect, and
Okay.
it is
I've heard she's great. I forget her name, but I've heard she's fantastic.
Indy Navarrete, I think, or
That's it. That's it. That sounds right.
I'm butchering that last name, but I think her first name's Indy. And yeah, oh, I think that's going to be your main takeaway from the film is that she has a great career ahead of her. Um,
Okay.
and I'm excited for that. His future projects, he got hired. He's involved in the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He's putting
Okay.
his own spin on that classic
What do
story.
you what are your thoughts on Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
I haven't even seen it, man. I'm gonna be honest. I've
Oh, it's
seen,
great. You got to see that, man. If you like low budget horror, that's the original. That's the
yeah.
foundation. You got to
I
check that out, man. You'll like
watched
it.
parts of it. Like it's definitely been on like a drunken Friday in my youth. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But I haven't actually sat down and like dissected it or anything like that.
I'll
But
tell you
I'm excited.
I'll tell you a story with the first time I watched Cannibal Holocaust after the camera cuts. I'll tell you this story. It's I just remembered it now. You're gonna like this.
Okay, I can't wait. Well, but yeah, basically this Curry guy, man,
Mhm.
he's got there's not much more I can say about it. I may be hyping it up a little bit too much, but that movie has sat with me, and word of mouth doesn't lie. Do you know what I mean? When you've heard it from that many people, there is something special about it. My only worry is that it's overhyping it. I don't think it is though. I think it really lives up. Give me a call as soon as you get into that theater, man, or whenever
Okay.
you get or
Okay.
something. Have time to check.
100%.
I'm really excited to see because you know the more technical aspects of film, and I
I'm
kind of want
excited. I mean, I
to feel
love
this.
low budget filmmaking, man, and I love low budget horror. I'm such a fan of the slashers. Friday the 13th, man. I go to bat for all those movies. Friday the 13th Part 4,
Yeah,
fantastic, bro.
that's,
Don't fuck around. Don't fuck with Friday the 13th Part 4.
uh,
How the original Halloween, low budget classic.
yep.
And I mean, it's the new way for young filmmakers. Man, I gotta make a fucking horror movie. That's what I'm thinking.
You got to do it, man.
Um,
Your last two have been great, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You gotta bring that blade to the screen.
I mean, no, I'm excited. I mean, it's all very exciting and it's encouraging and I don't know. It's great to see young filmmakers succeed. Like that's really it. That's my and I can't wait to go see these two new movies, Obsession and Backrooms, and I hope I like them a lot.
Mhm.
Um, yeah,
Oh, I just
horror
thought
and theaters are in a good place.
they are, man. They are. I just thought of a great idea for a film pitch to you, man.
You're pitching me a movie.
I'm pitching you a movie, dude. This just came.
Okay.
Okay,
Man, give me a
so
script. Put a script on my desk.
the script, yeah, yeah, no, I'm not the writer type, but this actually seems like a great idea. Maybe
You've
this
seen my
isn't.
movies, neither am I.
You basically have it where it's a exactly someone in your position, someone making like short films, right? Trying to like break into this industry. Have it where you're making that indie low budget horror film, right? But then so have it as like a produced movie, everything like lines, all that. And then on like one of the death scenes, you accidentally like actually kill the person and it switches to a found footage for the rest of the film after that.
Dog, you just got to make that movie. That sounds sick.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah, that just came to me right now. I think that would be awesome.
That
And
sounds good.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to make a movie,
Okay,
but
I need a script on my desk, 9 a.m. Monday, man. I need that written. I need 15 pages at least.
I'll start writing, dude. I'll start writing.
Oh,
But yeah, do you have any final thoughts on JFK?
masterpiece.
No.
I
I
love
would
it. I love it.
great. It's gonna grow on
I
me. I
think
know.
you'll get there, man. I think you'll get there.
It's one of the ones that I'm gonna wait like a week to put my review up because I know if I did it today, it would be a 3. But I think if I do it
Oh,
in a week now, it'll be a 4.5. You know what I
okay.
mean?
I'm excited for that review. I'm because I was refreshing your letterboxed
Yeah.
because I
You're
was
waiting for
so worried. I was ready to open it up and be like 1 star. I'd be like, oh shit, fuck.
yeah.
Okay. I'd be like, oh, sorry, I made him sit through the extended edition.
Another like indie film I want to shout out, if that's okay.
Buddy,
This
go for it.
there's this baseball movie called Ephus. It is
I
sick.
I want to see Ephus, bro. I know I'd like Ephus.
It's just a bunch of town lads playing in a beer league, and it's just there's like this condominium complex going up, so they're losing their ballpark, and it's all of them just like playing their final game together, and there's nothing special. It's just so good. I don't know.
You know what? I'm
You
shouting
know
out an
what?
indie movie before we wrap up. Connor O'Malley's Rap World. If you like
Yes,
friendship, you saw Rap
yes,
World?
yes,
You watched
dude.
it? Yo, I said
Oh
that
my
to you. I'm
God.
like, I know you would love that.
Yes, dude. Rap World is sick, dude.
Rap
Oh,
World. Oh my fucking god. I laughed so hard at that movie. I showed it to Carly. I laughed even harder the second time, and
yeah.
she thought it was the worst movie I've ever showed her. She did not like it. She was not on its wavelength. I think
It
Rap
was
World's
fun.
like kind of a perfect movie. It's like a mix of Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, as well as like Cassavetes, and like there are moments that are like genuinely emotionally honest and feel like you're seeing something you shouldn't. And the,
Yeah.
the, the constraints of the low budget really add to that. The scene of Conor O'Malley talking to his ex-wife in the bedroom, where it's like this is so intimate, it feels uncomfortable. I shouldn't be watching this. It's like that scene in Taxi Driver when Travis Bickle is talking, trying to talk to Sybil Shepherd and leaving that voicemail. But then
Mm.
it has some of the funniest fucking scenes. The rap songs are so funny. The way these guys bicker is so funny. I love Rap World. Full recommendation.
It made me yeah, I had a different little personal aspect of that too, because me and my friends used to make rap songs back in the day
Hell yeah.
in my bedroom, dude. It's like the songs were
Yo,
so
send
shit.
me one. That's our new outro.
It's so oh dude, no, I those are hidden away. If you can find one good
Okay.
on I release them under an alias and I don't know the account login, so
Drop
they're
the alias. Drop the alias.
no, I don't think it's gonna happen,
Okay.
man.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, dude, this is a great conversation, man. It was
This
good
is a
to
great conversation. Thanks for
get it.
Silas. Thanks for coming on the episode. This is the longest. Unless we end up splitting into two and call it like JFK in the modern state of horror. Man, we've gone 3 Zoom. This might be if we keep it all together, this was definitely the longest.
No, this is an hour 45. We went for 3 hours last time.
Yeah, but a lot of that was the Jays and the Muppets.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
A lot of that was Jays and Muppets. I'm
To be fair,
keeping
a
all
little
this
bit
in.
talking like the last 45
I
minutes of you
like I like
talking.
this conversation so much that I'm keeping it all as JFK. I'm splitting it into two, and I'll drop them both same day.
Okay.
Okay,
Double,
Carly,
double.
drop them both same day.
Yeah.
Carly, if you made it to this point, 3 Zooms in. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Connor.
thanks for listening to us. Okay, Silas, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thanks for giving us your time.
Thanks for having me again, man. Oh,
To
always.
everybody listening, it's always a pleasure to have you, man. Anybody, if you made it this far, rate, review, subscribe. And good night. Tune in next month for I think Winona Ryder. We'll see. I think so. I think it's Beetlejuice. Um, Good night, everybody.
I love it. Not knowing the schedule. Respect.
I don't know. I'll be there no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.